Hi everybody. Today I thought I would give you a look through my 2016 top-down planner, how I've been using it, and how it's been working for me. If you've seen my 2016 planner lineup video, you know that this planner is really where I begin with all of my planning, whether it be for the year, the month, or the week. This isn't really a daily planner. So if you're unfamiliar with top-down versus bottom-up types of planning, I did a complete series on that. But basically, top down is when you are thinking kind of very broadly, big goal, big picture kind of thinking. Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? Who am I? That kind of thing. Whereas the bottom up type of planning is when you really start to nail down and figure out all the details on how to accomplish those types of goals. And I need both types of planners in my life. So I will plan and set all of my goals here. And then I will go to my other planners that I have set up that I've shown you. And that's where I hash out all of the details, because this planner doesn't have that kind of space in it, and that's not the focus. It's not set up for that. Whereas my other planners don't have this kind of thinking. I don't have room to set goals in my other planners. And so that for me is why I have different types of planners and more than one planner. As you can see, I have these sticking out right here. These are not actually tabs. They look like it, but they are sticky notes. And why I have them sticking out like this is to remind me these are tasks or things that I want to add or accomplish for this specific planner. I have this kind of a thing in most of my other planners, and this just reminds me that I've still got some things that I either want or need to do. I also have a bunch of clips at the top, and for me, I like to have my pages very easily accessible. And so I want to be able to just flip, flip, flip right to certain pages. And so this very first one, I think is C. Jane Work is the brand. It's from Office Max, Office Depot. They also, as you can see, it's very cute. They also have it not only in the aqua, but in hot pink. And then let me show you the other ones and how those look. This is an Oto clip, which is OHTO. And then these two are large Oli clips. Now, as you can see, it's very, very bulky at the beginning. I'm not worried about that at all. I have these larger clips just because I know that as the year progresses, I need to have those to hold more and more pages. And so this is going to balance out the longer I use the planner into the year. So let me show you how I have those marked. So this first bow clip right here automatically turns to the Who Are You page, because I want to keep that in the forefront of my mind, you know, stay true to myself, what my values are, and who am I. The next one, which is this Oto clip, if you've never seen these are so cute. Let me take this, well, I actually won't take that off, but it's you just pull it off and you stick it back on. It's, as you can see, very cute little smiley face right here. They do have a pastel pack and a primary pack. But this one holds my what is your future page, and this one automatically flips on the other side to my year at a glance, which if you've seen my other videos, you know that I like to use this page to set goals for the month, to have a focus and a goal type of tracker. As you can see, I have it set up for the year. I just used some extra Erin Condren labels that I had, and I do, because of the way my brain works, I have kind of like picked a color for each month, and that will be my focus. For January, my focus just was to have planning every day, to just be a much better job of being organized. I've already set my goal or my focus for February, and that's routines. And then I usually, because it's the last week of January, that's why I've already picked February. I usually won't do it until the last week of the month and just kind of see how the previous month is going, because in the past, I have set like my entire year, and then I get to the third or fourth month, I'm like, well, I'm way off, or I don't even want to go in that direction anymore. So that's why I just do it kind of a month at a glance, or a month at a time. This next Oli clip, the large Oli clip right here, goes to the current month. And so these are my goals for the current month, which is obviously January. My last Oli clip is this one right here. And this is the current month at a glance. And then the back side of that is the current week. And so that's how I have all of my different clips set up. Let me go ahead and I will take these off now and show you some of the pages. The very front, this is what I was talking about. I just have some things written down right here, and it probably looks like a lot, but I had at least double this when I started this planner a few weeks ago. This right here is just a very, very small dashboard, and by small, I mean a few different sizes, which I like to have different sizes, but I would say there's probably like 5 of each of those, so really not very many. I don't need a lot, especially for this planner. So my clip would automatically go to this page. Now, as you can see, I have circled some things. I think it's 12 that I've circled. I don't want to do too much more than that because these really are my main values. I haven't completed this, and honestly, these pages, this page right here, and then the next one right here, I am going to delve into the depths of my soul here. I've noticed, at least with myself, if I think there's a possibility that I'm going to show this on camera, I really hold myself back, and I'm not completely honest, and I don't want to do that. And so I have not filled out these pages yet because I knew I was going to do this video. And quite frankly, the only person that's going to see these is probably going to be my husband. So I haven't filled these out right here, but I definitely, that's on one of the little tabs here that I'm going to do very shortly. And then this page right here, which I am just 100% in love with. I cannot wait to do this page. I'm going to do this by myself, and I think I've showed this to my husband. I think we're also going to do one together as a couple. But this is just an awesome, awesome page. But a lot of these things are going to be very, very private, which is why I have not done that yet to show to the entire world. Then the next one, as you can see right here, there's nothing really in between the... I haven't done the goal planning pages because I need to fill this one out first. And then I think also this one's not really much to show because I didn't end up getting this specific planner until, this is the blank month of December. I didn't get this till the second week of January, which is why I didn't use it fully. I wish I would have gotten it in December, but that's okay. In January, as you can see, I have my categories, and if you have this specific planner or this type of planner, for me it was a little bit difficult at first. I couldn't really nail down what my categories were, but I just started thinking of what do I want to do or need to get done, or where do I want to go, and then my categories came. So I don't know if that's been everybody else's experience. So my categories are home, friends and family, planners, which is a huge thing in my life, YouTube, another thing that a lot of people probably wouldn't have, and then I just have a personal one. Everything that I want and need to get done or have goals for will fit in one of these categories. So that was my focus for January, was the planning. And as you can see, I have added a couple of decorative things here. I did use this planner for the majority of January, we're the last week now, without any decorations. But over the weekend, I just found I wasn't using this as much as I thought, or just I didn't want to look at it as much as I should have. And it's really because I'm such a visual person. I just needed something, a spot of color or a shape or something to look at just besides my monochromatic writing here. And so that's really helped a lot. Then here is my last one. And as you can see, this, if you've not seen or done this type of planning, it probably looks very busy. These are the stickers that I'm using, which I'll show you. It's a clear piece of paper there. I have done this in other planners and it's been very successful for me. This may or may not work for everybody else. Again, just a little bit of decoration there. I love how this is shaded out. Otherwise, I would have put some more washi there. But what I have done is with my January planning, I looked at all of the things here and then I just started plugging things in for the month. Kind of what, not necessarily, some things were very specific to a day, other things, what were the most important things to get done, put first things first, and then I would just started plugging in the other things. And then again, because I'm a visual person, this works very well for me to just, when I have accomplished something, to just take a sticker and just mark it off on the day. And that way, for some reason in my brain, it just like, okay, you can let that go. You don't have to think about that anymore. As you can see, I still have a couple ones back here that I need to get done. You know, the world did not fall apart, so I can still get that done. And then here's the current week right here. As you can see, I also added a few functional stickers. And really what I added on the months were things that directly affected either my schedule and or my budget. And then I'll just, you know, major holidays. So for instance, New Year's Day or Flag Day. I mean, okay, yeah, I participate in those, but I'm setting goals and I'm putting out my flag. So no big deal. I did not need to mark that down in this planner. This planner is specifically for, does it affect my life, whereas I need to set a goal or have a task for that. And then on Wednesdays, these right here are some appointments that I had, and I will get to that in just a moment, but I just have a few different appointments on here. So really not a lot as far as compared to all of my other planners, which are extremely, extremely detailed. So that's how the month ends up. This is the first week that starts January. Because I got this late, and I don't know if anybody else does this, I put some things down just so I could check them off, and I'd already done them just because I wanted to feel accomplished. Like I said, I didn't have this planner yet, but I already knew that my first goal of the entire year was cutting out processed sugar. And so I had already pretty much completed that by the time I got the planner, but I wrote it down because it was this week that I was working on it very specifically. And then I didn't want to, because this was a food-related goal or a health goal, I didn't want to reward myself with food. So my reward, which it actually was a huge reward, is I just got to play and organize my planner supplies. I mean, I love it. That was a reward to me. Other people, it might be a punishment, but I loved it. So I just filled out a couple of things right there, as you can see. This is really where I got the planner. And so again, I was going back and writing some things that had already happened, and then a few things that I still wanted to get done. My categories remained the same, and this week my focus was getting my planner's stuff organized. And this one I felt like I could reward myself now with something related to food. So healthy organic salad dressing was my reward, which were so good. No processed sugar in them, great. And then here is the full Monty when I really started with the planning, because this is my first entire week having the planner. So here are my categories. I actually did not accomplish this goal this week, and so I did not reward myself. And if you look through this, I don't know why. I'm going to have to go back and look at my other planners for the details, but I just was not very productive this week, and I don't know why. That's one of the reasons I think we plan, is we can also have records and go back and figure out why. But some patterns, and I think this is a good thing. As I'm looking through this, I can see, of course, you can see how many things I have. Pretty much every single column is completely filled up. And then how I started using this was kind of like the planner pad. This space down here with the timeline is not enough for me to organize my time or to plan my time. So I pretty much just ignore the timeline. Great timeline, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. But I ignore the timeline, and I really just have this more as, here are my categories, and then which day do I want to get it done? And it's just a running list of what I want. As you can see, the beginning of the week, I am very busy. I have so many things that I've planned, and I think that's just a habit that I have. I want to hit the ground running on Monday and be very productive. And then after Wednesday, for some reason, I just don't have a lot planned. The good thing about this, I think, at least when I'm trying to evaluate myself here, is that it does leave room for when, because it's a when, not if, like whoever gets everything done on their list. When I don't accomplish everything in the first several days of the week, I have enough room and enough time and space down here that I can get some more things done. Still learning, as you can see, because I wasn't very productive that week. This week, as you can see, wow, I mean, I was completely consumed by this financial presentation that I had to give. I knew that it was going to happen that way because that's just one of my patterns. I cannot go into any presentation like this and just do not a good job. Like, I have to research the heck out of this subject, and anyway, it just consumed my entire week. And then it was Thursday, and by the time I got it done on Thursday, I pretty much just needed to relax and just have some breathing room and some free time. So this week, I would not consider this week unsuccessful at all. This week was very, very successful. Had one main task that I had to do. So here's my reward, organic sugar-free chocolate, which was delicious. Here's the current week. As you can see, I've changed pens. I started with the gray, and then I switched to pink. Pink was my color, well, let me show you. Gray, which is this Right Dudes pen, a gel pen, was my color for January. I was having problems with the pen, so I went ahead and prematurely started my February pen. My focus for this week is to get all of my planners completely set up in exactly the way I wanted it. Because as you know, when you start planners, even with this planner, I didn't know I was going to decorate this planner when I started it. I knew how I was going to use it with the goals, but I didn't know that I was going to need or want, or whatever you want to call it, a spot of color. I thought I was going to be able to get away with not using anything like that. So as you use a planner, things just come up like, I really want to add this to this, or I want to change this up. And so that's what I'm working on this week. I have been using all of my planners, but I want to just really get them where I'd hate to use the word perfect, but I just want to get them where I really want them to be. So my categories have remained the same, which I was kind of surprised by that. I thought maybe my categories would change from at least month to month, if not week to week. But I think that's when you know that you have good categories, is that they're right. So I have not decided on what my reward is going to be. Same kind of pattern here is that I have so many things that I have on my list from Monday through Tuesday and Wednesday, and a little bit less over here. I think that's okay. What I also started doing this week is, and I think this goes back to the old-fashioned type of homemaking where, they had one day for market, where they would go to the market, one day where they would do all of their ironing and things like that. I like that thinking. I like that attitude. And so just, obviously updated for the modern woman. But so for Monday, I've decided that my Mondays is really where it's at for me as far as just getting everything organized and setting all my goals. I've tried to do it on Saturdays and Sundays, and for some reason it's really Mondays for me that I naturally do that. Tuesdays is all about cleaning. That's where I really focus on, the main cleaning. Of course, we're all cleaning every single day, but all the cleaning that needs to be done once a week and not every single day. Wednesday for me is my appointment and errands day. And so that's when I will have the majority of my running around to do. I'll be gone for probably half the day. Thursday, I haven't written this in because I wasn't sure, but Thursday I think is just, I'm going to call it a personal day where I just have stuff I need to do for myself and whatever that is. And then Friday is my budget and my shopping day. Saturdays and Sundays are usually, family and church, so I didn't need to write that in. But that's how it's working for me. I have started setting up for February. I've already decided that I'm going to be focusing on routines here and started to fill little things in. So there's my decoration for February. Here is how the month looks. Again, just a few functional stickers there, and for Valentine's Day, because we do celebrate and I do buy little gifts and nice dinner and things like that. So that requires some planning and some budgeting. And then I'm just going to flip through the rest of this pretty quickly. I have started planning a little bit for next week. My focus is going to be on my night routines, and because I have not done this yet, I have new fountain pens and new inks that I have not even been able to try or play with, and so that is my goal, my reward for next week after I do my goal. And then I even have the week of February 14th. My goal actually is my bedroom. I hope this is not too personal, but my husband and I, you just have to buy a new bed once in a while, every 8 to 10 years or whatever it is. So we have needed a new bed for a really, really long time. We have saved up for that. We finally have enough money for it. And we have the time, which I know sounds crazy, but we have the time and the money finally. And so we have set a goal that we are going to buy our new bed by February 14th. I think that's a kind of a cool Valentine's present. I don't know, because you know, sleeping is such a huge, important part of our lives, 8 hours. And so anyway, after I have to get my bedroom organized and ready for a new bed, then that's going to be my reward as our new bed. Then we can go buy it. So I'm going to flip through these really quickly so you can just see the decoration, the very little setup that I've done so far for each month. I found on these weeks, again, I just needed a little spot of color, and I like how it's focused over here on my success of the week and my reward of the week. And so that just, my eye naturally gets drawn towards there. So April is bunnies and ducks. And then here's May, which is flowers and butterflies. And I just really, there's no rhyme or reason to this. I just looked at what I had and what I wanted to use. So June is sunshine and flip-flops. And then we get to July, which are flags and fireworks. And then for birthdays, I really just put the main family and friends' birthdays that I would actually probably buy a present for, if that makes sense. You know, other ones I wish people happy birthday in a phone call or card or something, but for the birthdays, it's really, I'm going to have to go through a little bit more effort. So here's September, which are leaves and fall flowers. October, I don't know why, but October is always purple, orange, and black. Those are just, so that's why I have the purple bats there. And then we go to November, which is acorns and pumpkins. I just love this. Fall, oh my goodness, it's my favorite time of the year. And then December is our presents, and these are little large tree washi there. So that's how that is all set up. And then I did change my sticker for the very last week, because this is when I start focusing, of course, on New Year's, and so I changed it to a star. And then I do plan on doing these mind maps. Again, I just felt like it was going to be too personal to share, and I didn't want to rein myself in very much. I did these meeting notes, which I said in my original review video, I love this for our budget meetings. And what I ended up doing is just copying these pages, because I wanted everything financial to be in my Franklin Covey financial binder. And so I'm using these pages, which I'll show you that setup later, but these are really great pages, and they're working out great. Bucket list, again, I plan on doing that. And then I just have, here are some lists and some goals that I have for my garden. And then here are some planner things. I did my 2016 planner goals, my video for you. And then I plan on using that. Then I wanted to bring this up. I have done a lot of pen tests in here, because my very first pen right off the bat, is this Right Dudes gel rollerball pen. I don't know if this is you can probably see what it's like. It looks like a ballpoint, but it's a gel pen, just that rollerball. I was finding, and as you can see, I was having a hard time with my pen. It was either really thick, or it was too thin, and it wasn't right. It was having a hard time starting. And so in my experience, and again, this is just my experience, I have found that this type of pen is not great in this planner. And I think that's why a lot of us have so many different types of pens. You got to have the right pen or the right tool for the job. This one is going to be a no for the top-down planner, for me at least. And this pen is more of the felt tip type of pen, which is perfect. These actually are my preferred pen in the top-down planner. I have tried all of the different types of pens and the different kinds, as you can see. The Kakuno and the Kaweco, those are fountain pens. And as you can see, the Kakuno, at least the ink, it smudged right away. I probably waited a few seconds, but it still smudged. So the dry time, you're going to have to wait on the dry time on that one. The Kaweco did a little bit better, as you can see, but still some smudging. And that just drives me crazy. I cannot have a pen, especially when I'm trying to hurry down and writing all my goals. I need a pen that's consistent, and I need one that's not going to smear or smudge or glob or skip or do all those kinds of things. So for me, it's going to be these felt tip types of pens here. Ballpoint pens did fine. Pencils did fine, but those are not my favorite pens, so I'm not going to lean towards those. And the highlighter is completely fine. Also, the other, like a higher quality type of gel pen, like a Pilot G, I wouldn't say high quality, but Pilot G2, the Signos, the Precises, all of those did fine. I think it's just these lower quality type gel pens that aren't going to work out great. And I've mentioned this before, it's the top-down planner has some type of finish on both the pages and the cover that it just makes it a little bit tricky. The paper itself is pretty decent, and I'm going to show you on the other side. As you can see, there's definitely shadowing, but I'm going to point this out right here. This is a blue Sharpie. A blue Sharpie. I mean, that's great. I actually might try to write 1 month with just complete Sharpie. This one so this is a blue one. This right here is Le Pen Permanent. So permanent pens like that, they work out fine. Look, it's the same as the Uniball Signo as far as the shadowing is concerned. I think that's great. I mean, that's kind of mind-blowing because rarely are you going to find paper that holds a permanent pen that well. So that is fantastic. And then a very last but not least, I did put a pen loop in here just because I needed one. This does not come with one. These are the Mochi things. I've showed those in my favorite videos for Mochi things. Pocket pen holder. So that's what it looks like. Here's what it looks like on the back. And I didn't realize this until I actually used this, but this right here is I don't have any nails right now, but this is a little pocket. So you could put a card in here or some stickers or something like that. But this is a pretty fat pen, I would say. It's got a big clip and it's widest right here, and it fits fine. It doesn't go all the way down, but it sure fits fine for me. Anyway, I hope that's been helpful. I don't think there's a lot of videos out there on the top-down planner. I don't see a lot of people using this, but it definitely has its place, at least in my planner journey for this year. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon.